The other night at the retirement and recognition ceremony, I met an employee who has been with the district for 15 years in the transportation department. I also learned that he was a Pennridge graduate of the class of 1973, and then finally learned through Dr. Thompson that he is also an excellent singer. So I asked Mr. Dave Besh if he would come tonight and lead the singing of the national anthem. So Mr. Besh, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Mr. Besh, thank you so much. That was wonderful. We really appreciate you leading us. Thank you so much.
Please call the roll.
Mrs. Vance Clemens,
Here.
Mrs. Cullen,
Here.
Mrs. Dolan,
Here.
Ms. Coderi,
Here.
Mr. Kraus,
Here.
Mr. Rice,
Here.
Dr. Thompson,
Here.
Mrs. Walters,
Here.
Dr. Yarnell.
Here.
Okay, next we have public comment. The Pennridge School Board welcomes public comment. According to Policy 903, we remind everyone of the following. Public comment shall be limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise specified by the board. Participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and note their name and municipality. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer rather than to individual board members, district employees, or members of the public. A speaker may speak once during each comment period. Please note that these sessions are designated for comments. To protect the confidentiality and privacy rights of all members of our community, the board encourages members of the public to direct any comments regarding particular individuals, such as students or district employees, privately to the superintendent or other appropriate administrators or board members, or to communicate with the board and superintendent privately by sending an email to psdschoolboard@pennridge.org. Questions raised and not addressed may be followed up at a later time. Okay, first up we have Delaney Denton.
Just like they're right here.
Push the little face.
Okay. Hi, my name is Delaney Denton, and I run varsity cross country and track for Pennridge. So recently it's come to the attention of me and other female athletes at Pennridge that there's an outdated and sexist rule that exists. We allow our male athletes to have the opportunity to have the choice whether or not they get to work out in a shirt or not. Female athletes do not have the opportunity to choose whether they get to choice of working out in a shirt or with their sports bra. My first reason why we should abolish this rule and promote equality at Pennridge is because this is sexist. The dictionary definition of sexism is discrimination because of gender. Pennridge claims to be, on Pennridge's website, it says all students should be able to attain the skills necessary to successfully compete in the 21st century global stage. In the 21st century, we put emphasis on equality, and by promoting something that discriminates against a girl and a boy, that's not promoting that 21st century success. Also, we allow our males to have the choice whether or not they get to work out and what they feel comfortable in. And I like being part of Pennridge, but I think in order to make Pennridge a great school, we need to improve upon this and allow this progress to happen. In recent years, body positivity movements have come such a long way. You see more diversity, and girls are more encouraged to embrace what makes them feel comfortable. So this rule kind of makes girls feel ashamed of how they look. One thing one of my teammates said that stuck with me for a while is, what is so wrong about my body that Pennridge thinks it needs to be covered up? This is a teenager saying that to someone. And I think it's really upsetting that a girl thinks that the school doesn't want her to feel comfortable. And also, it inhibits a girl's ability to make their own choices based off of their own comfort. And this brings me to my next subject, comfort. When you are running 7 miles in the blistering September sun, it's not easy. And sometimes running in that sports bra can provide just such a large level of relief. Whether you are doing stunts of cheer, scoring in field hockey, practicing your kicks of soccer, or running across country, it's hard work, and girls should be allowed to make their own choices so then they feel comfortable and they worry about what they're doing in practice and not how their body's feeling because of what they're wearing. So a few people did address some concerns, and it's that some people argue this will distract our male athletes, which is actually a pretty sexist generalization. I can guarantee you that our male athletes will be too busy worrying about what they're doing at their practice to worry about who's in a sports bra. And another thing is that people will supposedly sexualize our female athletes. If Pennridge is the 21st century environment that I know it to be, it would teach our girls, it will teach everyone in our area to respect women, respect their bodies, and respect their choices regardless of what they're wearing.
Ms. Denton, you've done a wonderful job expressing yourself, but we keep everyone in the 3 minutes.
Oh,
If you
okay,
could just
thank you.
Sum up. Thank you.
I did take a poll, and out of almost 200 people, 90% of them agreed with me, and they were high school students. And at both CB East and CB West, other schools in our area, they do allow girls to do this. I'm incredibly proud that I get to represent our school both on and off the track and cross-country course, and I'm incredibly happy that I got the chance to share this with you. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank you, Delaney. You were well prepared and did a great job. And we'll respond to all of the comments at the end. Okay? Next up is Tina Gerhardt.
Hi, I'm Tina Gerhardt. I'm from Bedminster. I wanted to ask the board about implementing a social media protocol for everyone that's involved in our district. Right now, I have a couple of questions about what we do. The district's Facebook page, I'm curious who all has access to be an admin for that. I've found that there's been different people posting on there, which no problems, I'm not here to complain about that. So far, there's nothing questionable, but there should be a policy implemented for that. It is not in the interest of the district to have board members, only one board member have access to the Facebook page. It should be done by a hired administration. It's a election year, and not that this has happened, I'm not making any accusations of it, but it would be very easy for somebody who is up for a re-election to sit there and be able to do some self-promoting that maybe another person that's up for election already on the board wouldn't have access to do. That's my first part of it, is the Facebook account. And my second question is about conduct for personal social media. So the district has an electronic communication policy that electronic communication with students shall be legitimate, educational reasons only. I know that the board does not have the same requirements, but it should. There's also a social interaction policy. So under the social interaction, there are examples of prohibited conduct that violates professional boundaries, which includes, but is not limited to, singling out a particular student or students for personal attention, friendship, or anything beyond the normal, ordinary adult-student relationship, initiating and extending contact with a student beyond the school day or outside of the class times without a legitimate educational reason, telling or sharing personal secrets with a student, and also prohibited is for adults who are not on the guidance, counseling staff, school psychologists, social workers, or have a designated responsibilities to counsel students, encourage students to confide in their personal family problems or relationships. If a student initiates such discussion, the student should be referred to the appropriate school resources. So we have school resources, and I know that a lot of times when we think we're helping people, we can actually be putting them at risk and at harm. So these same guidelines should be implemented for the board. It should be all part of what you guys do. It shouldn't be up for debate. It shouldn't be a question. And I would hope that the board would, make a rule that, there is no interactions with students on social media. And then they'd be subject to the same disciplinary action as anyone else that's employed at the district. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from guests?
Ms. Denton, I want to thank you. This was brought to my attention a couple weeks ago by a couple students on the track team, I believe, probably also cross country. I've asked Mr. Babb, our athletic director, to actually poll the Bucks County and Montgomery County school districts to see where they are on this issue, to see what information they use and what their policies are. Because actually our current policy is that the boys are not supposed to be running without their shirts on as well, and we've reminded all of our coaches of that. And so I'm not saying that it didn't happen. What I'm saying is our policy actually is that no one should be running shirtless. But I've asked Mr. Babb to look at the other districts to see what they're currently doing, and we will then address that for the next school season.
Last Easton, last I did check their pages.
Right. And so Mr. Babb will have all that information. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next up is the President's Report. The Upper Bucks County Technical Schools pre-Swiss cheese robot, so named for what they thought would be inevitable damage and holes by the end, won 3 rounds before ultimately winning the 2019 Liberty Bots Revolution competition. They also won the Coolest Robot Award, which was decided by all participants in the competition. Amazing job by students and a great testament to the success of our mechatronics program. I do have a great video, but I can't get it to go up anywhere because it's too big, so we'll have to find a way to share it. I think the tech school is going to try to find a way to share it so you can see their robot destroy the other robots. So tonight the board will be voting on the first balanced budget in at least 20 years with no tax increase, no borrowing from fund balance, or taking on new debt. We are moving into the second year of our 6-year capital projects plan that prioritizes our needs and bridges the gap to when our debt will start to drop, first by $6 million annually and up to $13 million annually. This will allow us to pay for large expenses as we go instead of stacking the debt out and wasting millions on interest. The plan funds upkeep of all facilities, adds air conditioning to large spaces in the elementary schools, and includes regrading the grass fields at all schools to provide more opportunities to more students. This is the 3rd consecutive year with no tax increase, which is 3 of only 5 times in the last 20 years. We also did not use any of the fund balance that had been earmarked last year for the budget and saw a decrease averaging $5,000 per month, $60,000 per year, on more efficient and effective legal counsel. Based on the makeup of these bills, we're likely to see that difference be even greater in the future. All of this while adding the STEM special to the elementary school, settling fair long-term contracts with staff, increasing funding to the Upper Bucks County Technical School, cutting administrative overhead, and increasing supports to the classroom. The number of supervisors were reduced to provide a continuous curriculum flow from K to 12, with additional supports and aids being added to the classrooms to best meet the individual needs of students and allow for collaboration. Our professional development continues to become more individualized to best meet the needs of teachers and prioritize high-quality educators. We added one-way kindergarten busing, expanding the kindergarten day, increased safety, and also counseling, psychologists, and additional personnel that we talked about last week. The budget is a key example of prioritizing a well-rounded education that meets the individual needs of all students and enables students to thrive in academics, athletics, music, the arts, woodworking, and the trades through our technical school, while providing staff with the tools they need to be successful, reducing non-essential costs, and working within our means with long-term financial planning that eliminates the need to raise taxes or borrow money for the foreseeable future. We can see the results of this every day as we witness students soaring to new heights in all areas. This is a great collaborative effort between our administration and our board, and we're proud of all the hard work that everybody puts into this and the success that we're seeing for our students and our teachers and our staff. Thank you. And next up is the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Baines Clemens. First off, tonight I have two groups of students that I'd like to recognize for some extraordinary work over the last month or so. The first is the group from Mini-thon. Most of you know the thon from Penn State. Pennridge is a very active and a very successful Mini-thon program. So I have lots of nice things to say about them, but I know they're going to say some things about themselves, so I'm going to let them speak first. So there are two advisors, Mr. David Brown, who is not able to be here tonight, and Ms. Angela Shuttle, who is going to be here. So Ms. Shuttle, if you come forward with your students, tell us a little bit about Mini-thon. We'd appreciate it.
Yep, that's me.
What? Oh, that's Mitchell. Mitch.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Angela Shuttle. I'm a teacher here at the high school, one of the advisors for Pennridge Mini-thon. As Dr. Bolton said, my co-advisor, David Brown, couldn't be here tonight. First of all, thank you, Dr. Bolton, and thank you, school board, for inviting us to be here tonight. I know the students are very excited to talk to you guys about some things that are very near and dear to our hearts. They'll be talking to you about our annual Pennridge Mini-thon event, which just finished up its 5th year. So the students that you see up here are part of our executive committee. Pennridge Mini-thon has a lot of moving parts that two of our students are going to talk to you about, and this event is very much student-driven. Mr. Brown and I, as we tell the kids all the time, we really are just facilitators and try to help them have their vision kind of come to life and be implemented each year at our event. So the two students that are going to talk to you tonight are our overall chairs, and that's Mitch Wagner and Abby Koza. So I'm going to turn it over to Mitch first, and he'll talk to you about the event.
Every 3 minutes, somewhere in the world, a family hears the devastating words, "Your child has cancer." We are Pennridge Mini-thon, and our mission is to conquer childhood cancer. Hello everyone, my name is Mitch Wagner, as Ms. Shuttle said, and I'm one of the overall chairs for Mini-thon. We're here today to share the impact of Pennridge students that we're making. I'd like to start off by informing you a little bit about what our organization exactly does, just in case you haven't heard about us before. We're a student-led club at the high school, and we raise money each year to support an organization named 4 Diamonds. They're tackling childhood cancer through the funding of patient care at Penn State Hershey Children's Hospital. In addition, they're paving the way for innovative research towards new treatment options and ultimately a cure. Throughout the entirety of the year, our whole team and all of our committees work hard to hold a variety of fundraising events. Just some of these included Ball for a Cause, which was a basketball and gaga tournament. We had multiple restaurant nights, and then of course in September we have the Gold Out football game, which I'm sure a lot of you may remember. In the works for next school year, we have September 27th set for Gold Out, and for the first time, we'll also be holding a color run, which is set for October 5th. Both of these events are completely open to the community, and our goal is to have them advertised to all families in the district. Annually, Pennridge Mini-thon hosts a no-sitting dance marathon event based on the same principles as Penn State's Thon. This year it was on April 27th, which was a few weeks ago. Almost 450 high school students participated in this 9-hour day of fun, and it wraps up all of our smaller fundraising events. What's super special about this day is that students from all 4 grade levels come together to support the same mission. Our main event was jam-packed with activities. In the white gym, we had pep rally style games such as tug of war, steal the bacon, and extreme musical hoops. Inflatables, gaga pits, and long games filled our green gym. And then we also had some vendors, raffles, and photo booths. Each hour on the hour, participants gather to participate in a line dance to a mix of music. And the symbolism here is really that we're uniting everyone in support of the kids in the white gym. From 3 to 5, we invited the Pennridge community to visit us and participate in all this fun. And we saw a lot of middle schoolers from North and families from of the participants and teachers. At the end of the night, the final 2 hours were devoted to an awesome dance party right before we revealed the total. In 2019, Pennridge Mini-thon is proud to have raised over $52,000 for the kids. And over the past 5 years that our club has existed, we've raised over $200,000. A special thank you goes out to all of our student participants, team members, advisors, chaperones, and community sponsors and community members who visited us. Our 2018-2019 efforts were a great success thanks to all of your help. I'm going to hand it off now to Abby Koza. She's our other overall chair, and she's going to share a story of her personal growth in Mini-thon.
Hello, as Mitch said, I am Abby Koza and I'm the other overall. I think the importance of Mini-thon isn't just the money that we get, but the community it brings to the school. And to show you that, or I guess to tell you that, I've kind of prepared my own little story of my own experience in the program. So freshman year, I was in the line dance committee and was already super excited to be a part of Mini-thon. The first game of the event was musical chairs, and I was pumped. Round after round, I sprinted to open seats and rushed to sit down to stay in the game. Admittedly, I'm a bit competitive. Until one round, where I sprinted to a last open seat, practically slide tackled the girl next to me, and when I sat down, there was no chair to catch me. Indeed, I was out and injured. As it turned out, I completely tore the ACL of my right knee. However, the pain I felt from the injury, or disappointment I felt for not being able to participate, is not what I think about when I look back at that day. Instead, I think of all of the people who stopped and checked in on me at the nurse's station. I see how complete strangers offered to roll me around in a wheelchair or asked if I needed any help. I saw how Pennridge Mini-thon, an event that raises awareness and money for a foundation that battles childhood cancer, brought together all grades of Pennridge High School in a mutual drive to help others and support people in need. At the event that day, I realized just how amazing and unique Mini-thon it truly is. I stayed at the high school for 6.5 hours after I was injured, hobbling around in a wheelchair and crutches with a smile on my face and a 4 diamonds tattoo on my cheek. I insisted that the greater cause of fighting childhood cancer was much bigger than my own injury. While I could go home and rest, many children battling childhood cancer don't have that option. They're instead confined to hospital and treatment rooms trying to get better. I stayed for them, staying as much as physically possible and even doing the line dance on crutches. Through Mini-thon, I hope to repay the kindness that others showed me freshman year by making the event the best it can be and giving back to the real children in need, those fighting childhood cancer. Thank you.
Is the video an annual thing that we're about to see, or was that only done this year?
Yes.
Anyone in the room responsible for this video?
No, sure.
Okay, we're going to watch it anyway. Every year they produce a mini-thon, and so they're going to be the big reveal in terms of the amount of money that they raise. This year, but we're going to show you that. Board members, it is in the superintendent's report. You should be able to just simply press play. Please make sure your computers are on mute because it'll mess with the sound in the hall. So, Ms. Dixon, if you would.
Stick around and you'll see what I mean.
We're going to form a couple of those. Come on up. 5'5" and under. You guys get in front. You guys squeeze in there. We'll do choir children. How are you, Ms. Cooper? Can you get it? All right. Mitch, remind me again, over $200,000, is that what you said? Over 5 years. Over 5 years, that's awesome. Thank you all very much. have here this evening also recently had their time in the sun. This is our Technology Student Association, or TSA. So Mr. Hank Ward, who is the advisor for TSA, is actually donating his time at another charity this evening. He's not able to be here, but he did provide a write-up for me. So recently we had 14 students who competed in the TSA State Conference, which was in April. There are 105 school districts. They compete in 45 different events. For the first time ever, every student in Pennridge placed either with a trophy or a finalist pin. So the first time ever, all 14 of our students, and most of them did so in more than one event, from that standpoint in terms of where they won. So we need to congratulate all of them for that effort. In addition, two of our students, Chris McKinney and Vishal Taylor, could you two stand up? You both here, Chris and Vishal? They're going to represent the state of Pennsylvania in the structural engineering category at the National Conference in Washington, D.C. And I think I heard you say, Vishal, that it's the end of June. June 29th or so, they should go to Washington, D.C. They also have received, if they choose to accept it, a $15,000 a year scholarship from Jefferson University. So let's congratulate these two gentlemen. So will you come up and let's take a picture?
Yeah, we need some people in the front.
Yeah, we're going to do two
Two rows.
Oh,
okay.
President's in the middle.
There you go.
Hands in front. Can you see? Say TS. Guys, congratulations on your accomplishment. Thank you very much.
School board members, I forgot to say that you can be following along in the pictures that the crowd can see under board presentation, superintendent's report there. So next, I would ask that you would join us for the high school art show. This event is special because it's the first Pennridge event I attended last year after I had been named superintendent. I wasn't official yet, but I had been through the process and knew that I had been offered the job. And so it is this Thursday night, May 16th. It is from 6 to 9 o'clock, and it is here in the entire high school lobby and down into the Audion. You will not be disappointed. It is the work of our AP art students, our advanced wood students, and all of those students in all of our classes that way. It is just an amazing night to be able to have that. So, next, I want to recognize a lovely evening. Recently, congratulations to 3 of our staff members, Alan Andrukaitis, Mary Lou Ashworth, and Maria Huff, who were named the Pennridge Community Education Foundation 2019 Friends of Education. These 3 staff members have had 88 years of service and dedication to the students of Pennridge. In addition to the awards ceremony, a lovely evening is in fact that, and it includes performances by the Pennridge High School String Ensemble, the jazz band, the chamber choir, the Famadas, which is an all-female a cappella group, and this year there were selections from the STARS presentation of Cinderella. We're really appreciative of our community partnership with PCF and thank them for being able to recognize our staff members. Next, I want to make you aware of the 1,000 Flower Project. Pennridge High School was included as one of the 1,000 Flowers Project. This mural is designed by Tim Gibson, and this one that you're looking at, which I'll tell you where it is because it's very close to us right now, is the 6th one in the series. So this mural, if you go out and go left to the next hallway to the left of the LGI, it is down that in what they call Central Boulevard, and you can see there from that piece. So what's going to happen is Mr. Gibson is looking to get 1,000 different schools or community organizations that are willing to have this mural. At the beginning of the mural, it shows where it connects to, and at the end, it then will show where it connects to next. So whoever the 7th mural is, their name will be at the end of our mural. The original mural is in Sellersville, and so once there are 999 of them, he will come back and paint the final destination on the Sellersville mural for the 1,000th mural. And so this was all students and staff who gave their time, heard of this, had the artists come in, and then they painted on the walls, and the artist came back the next day to kind of do the finishing touches from that standpoint. It really is beautiful. I want to congratulate 8 of our Pennridge High School students who attended the annual Bucks County Intermediate Unit Employability Expo. They experienced putting together resumes, participated in mock job interviews, and had breakout sessions with over 30 community businesses and organizations. It was an excellent opportunity for students to gain skills for competitive, integrated employment. And I'd like to congratulate Kevin, Aiden, Avery, Robert, Angel, Allie, Connor, and Olivia, as well as Mr. Ware, Mrs. Scanlon, Mrs. Gertzberger, and the entire Bucks County IU. Congratulations. I want to also recognize last week that we had a Years of Service recognition and our retirement celebration. There were 83 employees who were recognized for serving Pennridge for either 15, 20, 25, 30, or 35 years. We had 4 employees who are celebrating their 35th anniversary with Pennridge. That's Mary Lou Ashworth, Sharon Hendricks, Carol Herstein, and Colleen Trager. We have 25 retirees this year, and I'm a little bit of a math geek, so I told them that night they have served for 474 years, which is 85,794 days, and over 600,000 student hours. Calculating the impact that they had on their students by estimating how many students they had a year, we realized that these 25 employees have had a direct impact on 72,825 students. We talked about how the ripples in a pond and that those 72, almost 73,000 students are their impact. Leading the way, Ms. Pearl Oswald, she definitely led the parade. She was retiring after 43 years in the transportation department. So congratulations to all of our retirees and those with special years of service. On another note, I'd like to recognize one of the board members, Dr. Sherry Thompson, and I say Dr. Sherry Thompson because she has just recently successfully defended her dissertation. So congratulations, Dr. Thompson. We've had a wonderful season of spring concerts. The choir, the band, and the orchestra. It has been a wonderful season to be able to enjoy great music, and I would encourage you to find those again in the winter when they are celebrated. Had a really wonderful time last week with Mother's Day celebration. I'm assuming it's the picture you're looking at. It doesn't get much cuter than that. Is it the cute picture? Ms. Cooper, that is like one of my favorite pictures. They sang 2 songs to their mom. This is our child care program where we have a preschool where our students lead a preschool. They actually have 3 groups of students who come in for about 90 minutes a day. And then they lead them through the activities, and this was one of the activities they had where the moms could come in. The kids sang them songs, made up little flower pots. It was all out cute. And it was really good food, too, from that standpoint. But it was fun for both the big kids and the little kids. I think I have some pictures of the bots, although that was covered. For those of you who have ever seen Battle Bots, that's what this was. And so this was the Megatronics group that won. And is Swiss cheese up there? Was there a picture?
It's just the guys.
No, just the guys. All right, well, you have to go to our website to see a picture of Swiss cheese. It was quite like a weapon that they unleashed on the rest of the competition. I'd like to recognize our Students Against Disruptive Decisions, or SAD. Congratulations to Bobby Brashear, Gunnar Orth, Christian Henge, and Ethan Seville, who were voted the winners of this year's Teen Driver Safety Video Public Service Announcement Challenge. There were 12 different Bucks County high schools who submitted a competition for a 30-second PSA, and it was our students who won. They were just recently recognized in the newspaper, so congratulations to those 4 students. Next, I'd like to put another plug in for 21st Century Learning Night. So Dr. Scheib, we're going to switch PowerPoint presentations, and while we do that, if you would just let us know about 21st Century Learning Night that's coming up.
All right, thank you, Dr. Bolton. We would like to invite the entire community to our 5th annual 21st Century Learning Night, May 28th from 6:30 to 8:30, right here at the high school. We'll be on the 1st floor and the 2nd floor, and you'll have a chance to join us to see how our Pennridge students are leveraging technology to innovate and create and problem solve. It is such a wonderful event, and we have community partners who donate for our raffle each year, which makes it a lot of fun. There'll be lots of different prizes. There'll be fun. There'll be learning. There'll be a night of learning, and we hope that you all can join us. Thank you.
I believe one of the slides was the community partners. Was that true?
Yes.
I'm just always impressed by the number of organizations. This was the 2nd event that I attended last year. Once I never.
All that.
All right. We're done now, my trip down memory lane. The last thing that I have for you today is just to share another video with you. Last week, we celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week as well as Nurses Appreciation Day on Monday. I said last year in my community forum that I think the two most important jobs when it comes to impact on children is parents, and second would be teachers. And so we wanted to put together a video this year that we shared with the community as well as the teachers to simply thank them. So I just wanted to show you the video that we prepared and shared with them last week.
Happy Teacher Appreciation Day. On behalf of the entire Pennridge staff members were being recognized. One of those being recognized was a Pennridge high school teacher who spoke about his passion for teaching and for his students. He summed it up so well by saying, "The passion of a teacher is sharing what you love with a student." He is so right, and I have witnessed that passion in so many classrooms during my first year in Pennridge. You have my deepest appreciation, but more importantly, I wanted you to hear from some of those who are the real why of your dedication. Thank you for your hard work every day.
Thank you, you're awesome! Woohoo!
Pennridge's teachers are the best. No other teacher compares to how great they are.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pennridge teachers, for everything you do, and that I wish one day we can help you for all the hard work that you do to help us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, you're the best teacher ever.
Thank you so much to all of our teachers. Couldn't operate here without you guys.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, teachers. You are the best people I ever known.
Thank you.
Thank you all my teachers. You guys are amazing, and I would like to thank you for everything that you do for me and for everybody else.
Thank you, teachers. Thank you. Have a good day.
Kids are just cute. And I hate my voice on tape, but that's okay. That's right. I also want to thank Ms. Kelly Cooper. We have introduced our new communications and public relations coordinator. That was the first video montage that Ms. Cooper has done. So thank you very much for your work, Ms. Kelly. We appreciate it. And that is the superintendent's report.
And just another reminder, on May 29th, we have our choral instrumental concert. So you can, get to see them at once instead of, if you missed it the first time, which is great because they're really talented. And next up is the student liaison report.
Hello, my name is Brooklyn Hudgens, and I am accompanied here with Ada McGinnis, and we are student council representatives here at the high school. So we've had a busy few weeks here, and kicking off on April 11th with our annual blood drive, which collected 76 units of blood. Later that day, we held the semi-annual Mr. Pennridge, raising over $3,500 for the Students' Life Skills Program.
Now for part two. Last week, Student Council volunteered at Pearl's Buck International's Tea Party, along with celebrating a great professional and support staff with water bottles and a breakfast. This week, we are conducting elections for next year's officers, along with volunteering at South Middle School and the Pearl's Buck House for each of their respective events. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Haley Frable, and I'm from the Upper Bucks Technical School, and I have just some information that I've gathered this past month. To start, from the healthcare careers, we had our spring blood drive on May 8th. We had saved 271 lives. We also have the Upper Bucks Tech Catering. You can go to our website for menus and prices. My Payments Plus, which is an online service that provides you the convenience and information you need to manage your student's meal account. You can visit the UECTS website for more details. And lastly, the Senior Night Celebration, which is the tech school graduation, which is on June 3rd at 7 p.m. at Pennridge High School.
Thank you. Okay, next is the approval of the consent calendar. I'll move to approve items A through I. Questions or comments from board members? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. And next we have committee reports, activities. Mrs. Walters. Thank you. The Activities Committee met on April 29th. We discussed an international trip to Costa Rica and Panama for the summer of 2020. We also discussed overnight trips that the high school students will be taking next school year, a ski and board trip to Park City, Utah, ski and snowboard trips to Burlington, Vermont, and another one to Killington, Vermont. We also discussed the leadership conference in Johnstown, PA, and the Beaver Run baseball trip to Dingman's Ferry. I would like to, before we approve, before I make a motion to approve the overnight trips, I wanted to table the international trip to Costa Rica and Panama. The policy 231 states that the board cannot and will not sanction foreign travel nor endorse teacher involvement as trip sponsors and/or chaperones. So I wanted to make it clear that in our committee meeting, the board was in support of this trip. And to the best of my knowledge, we are still very much in support of the trip, but we need to update our policy before we vote on it. Okay, so I'll second that. Questions or comments from board members?
Do you know how that would affect, is it going to have any effect on them being able to schedule the trip?
As soon as we discovered the conflict, I emailed Dr. Price and asked him to follow up with the chaperones for the trips to see what the timing is for them. So I don't know tonight regarding it.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. It's tabled. Okay, so now I'll make a motion to approve the other trips. I'll just read them since we tabled the Costa Rica trip. The overnight ski and snowboard trip to Park City, Utah. The overnight ski and snowboard trip to Burlington, Vermont. The overnight ski and snowboard trip to Rutland, Killington, Vermont. The overnight trip for the leadership conference to Johnstown, PA. And the overnight Beaver Run baseball trip.
I'll second that.
Okay, questions or comments from board members? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Okay, and there are no more scheduled activities committee meetings for the remainder of the 2018-2019 school year, so we'll see you all again in the fall.
Mrs. Baines, I'm sorry. I have the PMA couldn't be here tonight, so they gave me their check. They're making payments on their trailer. So I have a check for $1,000 that represents their next payment. We weren't sure if we should do it in activities or finance, so we're doing it in activities.
Thank you.
We always do.
Okay, next is the curriculum committee. Mrs. Cullen?
Thank you. The curriculum committee met the other night on May 6th. We don't have any motions to approve for tonight. We talked about dual enrollment. We had a nice presentation by a Bucks County, or Dr. Rodney Outmonthos from Bucks County Community College. And if you didn't get to see it, it is available online. So he's very excited about the opportunities for dual enrollment, and we're very excited to have it continue to expand. So that was something, one of the discussions. And we also discussed the summer reading. We're going to take a different kind of tack this year, going away from the genre study to having books for the individual grades and courses. And the next curriculum committee meeting is scheduled for June 10th. Dr. Shai, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so, Mrs. Cullen. You didn't have any motions, but I also very excited about working with Bucks County Community College and other universities to offer opportunities for dual enrollment for our high school students. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is facilities, Mr. Kraus.
Thank you. The Facilities Committee met on May 7th, where we reviewed some obsolete items that we'll have a motion on in a few moments. The Home and School requesting approval for the purchase of playground equipment at Siler, and the bus bid, seeking bids for the bus bids. So just a quick note on the bus bids from that meeting. This is continuing the program that Mr. Geiger had started to replace our bus fleet and modernize the equipment to bring us safer, more reliable equipment. So this is another round of that. This is for replacement of 10 buses with a budget of $850,000. So with that, we'll move into the motions. So I have a motion to approve obsolete items listed A through D.
Okay, seconded by Mrs. Cullen. Questions or comments from board members? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you. The next item is a motion to approve the Home and School to purchase and install playground equipment at Siler Elementary.
Second. Seconded by Mrs. Dolan. Questions or comments from board members? I would just like to comment that we still haven't gotten the picture of him kissing the pig, so I'm still waiting for that. All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you. The next item is a motion to seek bids for the new school buses for the 2019-2020 year.
Second.
Okay, questions or comments from board members? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 1-0.
Thank you. And the next Facilities Committee meeting is scheduled
Okay,
for...
9-0. I thought you said 1.
Next Facilities Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 11th.
Thank you. Okay, next is the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee met on May 7th. And first we have the approval of contracts. I'm going to make a motion to approve contracts A through N. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mrs. Cullen. Questions or comments from board members? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. I will make a motion to approve the PSBA membership renewal.
I'll second.
For 2019-2020 in the amount of $15,840.42. Seconded by Dr. Thompson. Questions or comments from board members?
Every year, I just like to emphasize how it's not just a school board association membership that benefits the school board, but Mr. Dauber, can you explain for everyone again the different ways that it benefits? I know I asked you to do it every year, but I think it bears repeating because it is a good value.
Yes, Mrs. Cullen, it is. There's a number of services provided to both the school board members through educational programs and trainings, but also to the administrators within the district, publications, and different information coming out to administrators daily, weekly, monthly. There's also the policy service that is provided, which we use heavily to not only revise our policies, but to make sure that we get alerted to new things come out, in a timely manner in order then for the district to bring those policies to the board for approval. So it really helps us in a lot of different areas in the district. And we also, the PSB also has an insurance program that the district utilizes for our general liability and general purpose insurance programs, and our local insurance agent uses that program to a great extent for us. And those programs always come back with the lowest cost to the district on an annual basis. We go out to the market every year. Each year, the PSBA program is the best value for us. So there's many different avenues that they help us. So.
We're going to make a video like Dr. Bolton did, and then we'll just play it each year, so you don't have to say it again. But last year when you did the cost analysis, I remember being very close as far as, all of the cost savings that we get from our membership, to what we're spending, and, the substantial professional development that it offers for administration and board members, and the conferences and safety, security, everything. So it's been very useful. Any other questions or comments from board members? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries 9-0. Okay, next is the approval of bid results. I will make a motion to accept and award bid results A through E.
Second.
Questions or comments from board members? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Okay, and the next is the approval of the 2019-2020 general fund proposed final budget. I think we should do a roll call for this. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the 2019-2020 general fund proposed final budget as presented on the PDE 2028 form. Revenues and expenditures are balanced at $141,513,253 and set the real estate tax rate at 135.2555 mils, which remains unchanged from the 2017, 2018, and 2018-2019 fiscal years. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Rice. Any questions or comments from board members?
Mrs. Baines Clemens, if it is okay with the board, I'd like to ask Mr. Dollar to just provide a couple highlights. There are a couple slides on your board doc form. He's shared all of this information in previous times, but since you actually are voting on the budget, I just wanted to make sure to remind you of a few things. And so the slides, I think, are on the screen as well as in front of the board members. Mr. Dollar, please.
Thank you, Dr. Bolton, and thank you, members of the school board. Tonight, it brings me great pleasure to bring this budget to you. This budget is a culmination of a lot of work by a lot of people in the district. It started in the fall and continued up through this month. So this is a balanced budget. This is the first time since my arrival at Pennridge that I've been able to present a completely balanced budget to the board. And it's just, I'm tickled pink over it. Again, yes, the expenditures and the revenues do match, $141.5 million this year. Our total budgeted expenditures are up 2.44%, and our total budgeted revenues are up 2.88%. We're in our third consecutive year of no tax increase to our taxpayers in Pennridge.